Coming up, a plea to farmers to put safety first after a recent spike in farm-related deaths. Female farmers from the Ukraine recently visited Michigan to learn about how we do agriculture. And Michigan Ag Commodities' Chris Betts will have a look at market activity. I'm Janelle Brose, and this is Farm News 5.
Farm News 5 is brought to you by Ford.
A string of farm-related fatalities in Michigan serves as a sobering reminder that farming can be a dangerous business. Making things potentially more dangerous this year are the stress and fatigue that can come with delayed planting progress and a challenging farm economy.
What we really need to do is pay attention. Do a job assessment at the start of the day when we change tasks. It is easy and it is simple, simply to say what could happen and are there things that I could do to minimize that risk for myself and for those around me. Sometimes it's the simple things, getting on and off equipment. Other times it is a change in equipment. Is that equipment the same size as it was last year? Is it taller? Is it wider? Those types of activities can cause very significant challenges for us. Now we all know we have very good equipment. Many of us are using equipment from the 60s and 70s and 80s. But the equipment does break down. So as we're in our planting season, please be very, very cautious. When we do have a breakdown, never go under a piece of equipment that is hydraulically lifted. Always make sure that you're either blocking the cylinders or blocking the entire piece of equipment. And finally, when we are going out, tell someone where you're at, what you're doing, and when you intend on being back. It is a very good practice, not saying to text while you're driving down the road, but it is a very good practice to have a regular communications process with either your family or your co-workers to assure that you are still safe and doing the tasks that you're looking for.
If you want a car from a company that's been building them for 115 years, get a Ford. If you want a car with driver assist technology, get a Ford. You're gonna want a Ford.
A delegation of farm women from the Ukraine recently spent over a week in Michigan to gain a better understanding of agricultural practices in the United States. Their visit was sponsored by the Open World Leadership Center and hosted by the Great Lakes Consortium for International Training and Development. The goal for the women: take home what they have learned in the U.S. and put that knowledge to use on their farms or in their professions. Olga Romanev grows apples for the wholesale juice market near the nation's capital, Kiev, in addition to growing and selling garlic. She was interested in how forming a cooperative could help farmers in the Ukraine better market and sell their commodities.
We talked to professor about how to create cooperatives, association, and this is very important to us to learn this experience, which was successfully implemented for many years in USA, and bring it to Ukraine and to develop our agricultural business.
One of the stops on the delegation's 8-day tour was Fusilier Farms of Manchester, Michigan. Michigan Farm Bureau board member Mike Fusilier says welcoming international visitors to their farm is a mutually beneficial experience.
Anytime you can network with other farmers, whether it's in other countries or whether it's in our own country, anytime you can do that is a benefit to both parties.
Romanev has a master's degree in finance from the National Academy of Management in Kiev, and though she doesn't grow flowers, she learned some things from the visit to the Fusiliers.
What personally I got is that when all family works together and say do different things, operate with a different part of business, it's really successful. And what I've learned, it's really imperative that you make something different, like you mix different flowers together and you make this unique added value products. It's what we're gonna bring, I think, to Ukraine and somehow to implement it in our businesses.
Are they an employee or an independent contractor? It is an important distinction to make when hiring. Read attorney Deanna Swisher's article in the Foster Swift Agricultural Law News to learn more about the difference.
Michigan Farm Bureau is urging members to contact President Trump and members of the state's congressional delegation and tell them to speed up passage of the United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement, or USMCA. The easiest way to send a message is by texting the phrase "MI Trade" to the number 52886. The 2019 Viticulture Field Day is scheduled for Thursday, June 13th. The event will be held at the Southwest Michigan Research and Extension Center in Benton Harbor and features workshops on a number of topics, including grapevine trunk diseases, biopesticides, and vineyard recovery after coal damage. Tickets are $90 at the door and include lunch, dinner, and wine tasting. The Michigan Cattlemen's Association will host their annual Summer Roundup in Clare, June 20th through the 22nd, where the state's cattlemen and women can learn the most efficient and practical ways to run their businesses. It's also an opportunity to network with their fellow producers. Contact the association's office or visit micattlemen.org to register. And now with a look at the latest market activity, here is Michigan Ag Commodities' Chris Betts.
Thanks, Janelle. Trade continues to be firmer this week, supported by delayed planting progress. The USDA said corn was just 58% planted as of May 26th versus 90% on average. Soybeans were only 29% planted versus 66% on average. More rain across the Midwest will have hindered progress again this week. Funds worked their way close to a net even position in corn this week, but could find further buying interest with another low planting progress percentage in Monday afternoon's crop progress report. This group, extending into a net long position, would be very supportive as producer hedge pressure has been light on this rally. Farmers are unwilling, or more importantly, unable, to hedge production on acres not even planted yet. For more market information, go to michag.com. With Michigan Agricultural Commodities, I'm Chris Betts.
For more news and video, visit MichiganFarmNews.com and the Michigan Farm Bureau channel on YouTube. With Farm News 5, I'm Janelle Brose. Have a great week of farming.